grab the luggage.
Hello everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am really cold today because they had to like turn off our heating system to put in a new something. Today I wanted to speak about this pop-up event that had happened involving some travel bags and a human claw machine. And this is involving Shay Mitchell's Beis travel luggage bag thingies, which to be honest, I didn't even know that she was behind Beis. I didn't even know much about the baggage luggage company, but because of this event that kind of went a little bit wrong involving a human claw machine, I now know a little bit about Beis and their collection and their suitcases, which some of them are upwards of $300. Isn't something that I would choose to spend on a luggage, but the best thing about the world is that we're so different. So just because I don't like it doesn't mean to say that some of you guys won't. And for all I know, they're perfectly great. Not talking about the product specifically. We're talking about some people's experiences with this human claw machine.
Hi guys, it's so fun. Hi.
Which has led to quite a fair few people getting extremely bummed out and disheartened that influencers were receiving these luggage items out of the claw pit without even having to queue. It kind of reminds me of what happened with the Poppy vending machines, you know, the Poppy drink, the vending machine drama that went on where all of these influencers were being gifted these great big massive vending machine supposedly to promote the Super Bowl, have Super Bowl parties where, you know, some of the lesser known people of the world were not able to access these extravagant pink vending machines. Well, this event was supposed to be so that you could just turn up and you could just get hoisted on a crane system into this pit. Crazy thing is, this was not a wristbanded thing, so people were queuing up as early as 5 a.m. It was supposed to start at 10 and finish at 7. Well, the queues got so big that they ended up just going, nah, that's it, no more, we're cutting the line right here. And people were allegedly trying to buy spaces in the line or just plain and simply take other people's spaces.
The people that were like, I don't know, 5 or 10 people behind us in line, girl posted, and she was, I guess, the last person in line and was able to do this. And she was able to participate and got a piece of Beis luggage. So that kind of stinks to know that we were all handed a wallet and told, there's not going to be anything left for you. Go home, get out of line at 5 o'clock when the event was supposed to end at 7, and to see that people that were in line behind us did get to participate.
If there's talk of getting free things, people will do whatever it takes. There's this one girl, I think you pronounce her name Emmy, and she went viral because she shared this clip of her getting strapped into the harness, Wingardium Leviosa into this pit. But oh wait, that didn't happen because she went up, and the minute she went up, she got put back down. There was some sort of a weird conversation between her and this guy that was in charge of this pit. She looked extremely upset.
They're gonna grab the luggage. So bad.
Allegedly, what had actually gone on was that some of the people that were around the pit told her to get back down, and they then started taking out some of the big ticket items. So allegedly you have all sorts of different luggage in this pit. And yeah, so they ended up getting the high ticket items and ferrying them out of the pit and then leaving her with one of the smaller options. So I don't know where those were going. I am imagining, I'm sorry, I'm going to be really skeptical. I'm imagining they are going to go to some influencers. They go to someone that maybe got in the queue and people realized that they were a big deal, so that's why they got them.
Time that we made it to the front, it was already around like 5:30, and we didn't see any luggages being put into the pit. We only saw weekender bags and the sling bags and little pouches being put in, so we kind of had a feeling that we weren't gonna be getting any luggages. We finally got to the front, and I was in my harness and everything. There was people in front of me, and they had put about like 6 luggages in the pit. It was my turn, and I was up. I saw the 2 luggages in there. I was like, oh, I'm gonna get the big one for me, and my boyfriend was right behind me, so he was gonna try to get the next one after. But as I was going up and I was already set on where I was going, they brought me back down. I quickly saw that they started taking out the luggages. They started taking out the big luggage, and I was like, okay, maybe they're gonna save the small one. Maybe I'll just have to get the small one. But then they also took the small one. So I was just completely in shock. I was devastated. I told my boyfriend and the people behind me that I had made friends with, I'm like, they took out both of them. They took both of them out. My boyfriend actually told them if they could just get, they can just get the luggages from the back like they did for the previous people. And then the guy was just like, I wish. Throughout the whole time, I hadn't seen them take out anything from the pit once they put it in. So once they did that, I was like, So I did end up getting the weekender bag, and I was just not super happy about how it ended, just because I was about to get into the pit that had 2 luggages in there, and I was about to be able to get the one I wanted.
Suspend her up in the air, prone to the elements, to then just put her back down a few seconds later and just take out all the goods. That doesn't make any sense to me. And like I was saying, with there just being a lot of drama with people trying to push in the line, there was another creator that also went viral, and her name was Grippy Sock Lifestyle. He was told that she was the last person working for Beis, but he wasn't like official security, okay? And he was standing there and he went, right, you are the last person. Anyone after you is not getting anything. So this girl had it in her head, okay, I'm the very last person, I'm gonna get something. Comes in this girl who just starts acting like, oh, I drove 40 minutes, I'm gonna get the suitcase, I want to do this, I've been waiting, just acting really entitled.
I'd seen on Beis Luggage that they were doing a human claw pop-up, and I was gonna be in the area, super excited to go, super excited to be in line. Who doesn't want to be a human claw? At to Westfield Center, I don't know, at noon, I go to the back of the line. The line is huge. There's an event manager who's guarding the back of the line, and she says, hey, you're gonna be the last person. We don't have enough merchandise for everybody. So just so you know, I'm gonna be standing behind you and you're it. And for the next hour or so, there was more people trying to join line, and she was saying, hey, we just don't have enough merchandise. We're cutting off the line here, etc., etc. There was a few people who were pretty upset. Apparently they had gotten tickets with the times that the ticket was for. So some girl had a ticket for 1:30. Another girl drove like a pretty considerable amount from Riverside, and people were turning away and they were really bummed, understandably, because this event was supposed to go till 7 p.m. This girl that comes up and essentially refuses to be turned away. She said, I drove 40 minutes. I really like Beis Luggage. I really like Shay Mitchell. I'm just going to be in line. Of course, the person that was at the end of the line just worked for Beis. They weren't security. They didn't really have any enforcement. There wasn't a sign that says I was at the end of the line, so they were just going off of word of mouth. She had no idea what to do because this girl refused to leave. So there was 2 or 3 other event manager staff that came and said, hey, we can't make you leave. You're more than welcome to stay. But just so you know, we are cutting off the line right here. And they do that by me. This girl kept saying, I drove 40 minutes. I drove 40 minutes. I'm not going anywhere. I can stand here. And they were like, okay, but the line ends here. So Shay Mitchell herself rolls up with a Beis Luggage bag, I think it was a carry-on, and then isn't aware of the situation, goes to the girl that's standing directly behind me and says, oh my gosh, I heard you were the last person that they let in. How exciting. Here's your bag. Do you want glossy or matte? Come take a photo with me. I'm standing there like, I can't say anything because there's people with iPhones and they're taking pictures and photos and everything. So this girl is so excited and says, this is, you know, why you never give up. And I was like,
if you desperately wanted these suitcases, just turn up earlier. Just do what some of the other girls do and just camp out the front. Like, I don't get this. I literally, the minute I heard about this girl, I know exactly the type of person that she's talking about. She just refused. She was like, no, I've driven 45 minutes and I'm not going to leave. So that's just what happened. So obviously that is not specifically Shay Mitchell's fault. That is a complete lack of communication, because the entitled, spoiled, I've been here 40 minutes girl was not supposed to be the one with the thing. So this is entirely a miscommunication. Just like the girl getting hoisted up complete lack of communication. And as we're going to find out in a minute, they're also blocking smaller creators who are making videos talking about this. There was one girl who stood in line for hours, and I will put her up there. She opened up the video saying, you know, I'm not saying it's Beis's fault or Shay Mitchell's fault or whatever, even though it was purely the organizers' fault, in my own opinion. It must be an element of Shay Mitchell being at fault as well if they are being instructed. I mean, she might have had nothing to do with it, but whoever, whatever, was being instructed to take out things, to go to other places, which I'm only assuming are for influencers. She said that there were no wristbands, people were butting in, and eventually, I think at about 10 o'clock, 11, they were told to go home, ET phone home, so that is what a lot of people did. It then became very apparent that the people behind this girl and her friend, some of them, by the time they left, had actually managed to get in. So like I said, there was a complete lack of communication.
The event started at 11 a.m. We were actually standing in line at 10 a.m. And if you saw any of the posts from Beis or from Shay Mitchell, then you could see that there was a very, very long line and a great turnout for the event. We waited in that line for almost 7 hours. And at the end of the 7 hours, we were handed a wallet and told, I think it was like close to 5 o'clock almost. Even though the event was supposed to go till 7, we were told that they didn't want to waste our time and the event was over and to just go ahead and go home, which was a bummer because we had been standing in line all day and the line was moving, but not consistently. And we found out later in the day from, I think someone on the Beis team, that they had been doing counts all day of the line to make sure that they had enough product in the pit, and that they could refill it and that everybody in line could participate. And we totally appreciated that. The problem is that it was on the honor system. So when we got in line, there were no wristbands or anything. And so if anyone from the Beis team or if Shay Mitchell happens to be watching this, maybe consider doing wristbands for the next event because I think it would have made the experience just a little bit better for everybody and you guys wouldn't have had to have kept going around doing counts. You would have known the people that were in line in the morning and were there for hours and hours waiting, like my sister and I were, versus the people that were joining people in line. We saw people offering to pay people to like jump the line and get towards the front without having to wait. And then people like just walking up and like pretending like they had been in line and no one really saying or doing anything about it. It seems like that's where the issue was.
Someone said, you say this isn't on Beis, yet it sounds like it's 100% on Beis. Who else would it be to organise this? I feel like you're trying to say that as a disclaimer, so you'll be contacted. Cornelia in Maine, the person, said, I blame the people who cut or cheated the system. Beis blocked me since I posted this video though, so she's getting blocked for stating her opinion. If there was a large influencer, although probably very unlikely because they've already received their Beis products prior to this little crane system event, and then also there was talk about things getting pulled out of the pit specifically for the VIPs, whoever, whatever. If this was someone with a really big following, do you think Beis would have blocked them? No. No, they would not have. They would not have because it would ruin their image and their reputation. But because this is a smaller creator, they do not mind doing that.
Good morning, everybody. I'm sending a quick follow-up after the video that went crazy yesterday. And I am shocked and a little overwhelmed with the amount of attention that it got. And I am so grateful to everybody that took the time to listen, to support, to reach out and see if the situation could be remedied. I appreciate you all so, so much. You don't know me and you don't owe me anything. And it was really great to have some support over what had happened. Beis, Shay, people from the event reached out to me pretty much immediately and apologized and asked to remedy the situation, which was really, really kind of them.
It's not all sadness and disappointment, guys, because the Beis travel team has actually reached out to some of the people, aside from the last one who was actually blocked, reached out to a couple of the girls and said, hi, we're sorry about the little error. We, of course, want to make it right. Please check your DMs. So you know, realizing that the event maybe wasn't organized very well, they've now hopped on and they've now started sending people free travel bags.
I really didn't think my video was gonna blow up, but it did, and I'm happy that you guys did reach out to them for me, and they did reach out to me. So I am hoping to get the big bag, the big luggage that I wanted, and thank you guys so much.
I tell you what, whenever I hear about stuff like this happening, even if I'm nowhere near the source of the drama, it wasn't like a wristband event, so how would they know if you actually did attend or not? I don't know, unless you got footage of the actual event. I'm just saying anyone could try their luck with getting a free suitcase. Find it extremely sneaky suspicious how they are blocking smaller creators and then offering freebies to people who said they had a negative experience where their videos are just blown up massively. Obviously that is going to be a tactic that they're going to be using, which does suck, really, to be honest with you. It's like, how sorry can you really be about your poorly organized event if you're willing to block and kind of disregard people's experiences when really they were just trying to give you good feedback? I don't know, being suspended on a forklift system is not necessarily for me, but obviously I know that some people would find that quite a lot of fun. I'm kind of feeling like this is like, once again, peak consumerism, just like with the poppy vending machines, but whatever, is going to float some people's boat. The fact that this was so poorly organized and no one seemed to be talking to each other about like what was actually going on, which is where this fundamentally, this is where it all comes down to, and also prioritizing people who they deem as more important, aka influencers. There's always going to be a bit of a problem. But anyway, that is pretty much all I've got today for you guys. Got a family of 7 Resilient Jenkins video coming up tomorrow. I have been keeping my eye on it. I have been keeping my eye on it, don't worry. I've actually been recovering from a cold, so this video has just been very stop and start for me to film. I was going to get round to just filming it straight after, but I'm going to be honest with you, my chest is really not doing good things, and I keep on coughing, so I'm not going to put myself through that, and I will record it and have it ready for you by tomorrow. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day wherever you are in this world. Take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and I will catch up with you guys in the next video.